Hi there, it's Martin here from Refurbishment Mastery, and in this video I'm going to answer what is probably the second most frequent question I ever get asked. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you may well know that the most frequent question I ever get asked is, how do I find a good builder? And you will find another video that addresses that question. The second most frequent question I get asked is, what is the price per square metre for refurbishing a building? And my answer to that is, there is not one. It is impossible to give a generic price for carrying out refurbishment projects. It is reasonably possible to give you a generic price for carrying out a new build development kind of project, but it's nigh on impossible to do it with refurbishment. The problem with refurbishment is that every single project starts off different and every single project finishes off differently, and we do different things in the middle. Sometimes we need to move the staircase. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need to reconfigure all of the drainage, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need to comply with sound and fire insulations. Other times there's already some of that in there. If we're converting a fairly modern office building into flats, we may well find that we've already got a concrete slab, which already means that we've got fire insulation between the two floors. Whereas if we take an old-fashioned house, we've almost certainly got a timber intermediate floor, and that needs treating very differently as far as sound and fire goes. Along the way, we've also got a massive variance of qualities and how far do we go with repairs. Some people would say we want to hack off all of our plaster and go back to brickwork. Other people would say, well, the plaster's in pretty good condition, there's just some repairs. And for plaster, we've got plastered walls, we've got ceilings, we've got floors as well. We've got existing fixtures and fittings. Are they going to be of any use to you, or do you need to replace them? Do you need to repair them? And just based around all of those different variances, we've now got, if I were to talk about a rate per square metre that is varying so much that actually it's no use to anyone. And even if you speak to someone who's just done a refurbishment and they say, it cost me this price per square metre, that doesn't necessarily mean, unless you're doing an identical property at exactly the same time, the likelihood is that that price per square metre is going to be inaccurate. So for that reason, whenever I get asked that second most frequent question, my answer is there is no answer. The only way you can put together a budget for a refurbishment / conversion project is to break the project down into component parts and price up each of those individual component parts, because there is so much variance, as I've highlighted. With a new build project, you can get indicative prices for new build because we know it includes the foundations, the walls, the ceilings, the roof, the kitchens, the bathrooms, all the fitting out. We know it because we do that on every single one. But even if you find an indicative rate for new build projects, you do still need to add on for things like demolition and infrastructure and drives and roads and things like that. That will be subject of another video another time. The most important thing to say is there is no indicative rate for a refurbishment project. There is no shortcut. You need to do the budget in as much detail as you possibly can. So I really hope that has just helped you. Maybe that was one of your burning questions. Do please post below if there's any help I can give you around this subject. Otherwise, I look forward to catching up with you on another video really soon.